From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Louie B.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Wednesday, May the 25th, 2022. Thanks for checking us out on the Ticats Audio Network as we check in from Joyce Stadium at McMaster University in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario. Day 7 of training camp as the Ticats inch closer to the start of the season, and that starts with a preseason game this Saturday against the Alouettes at Tim Hortons Field. Can't wait to see the fans back at the Donut Box, and you can make sure you join us by going to ticats.ca/tickets, or you can listen to the game exclusively on the Ticats Audio Network on Saturday night. 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock with your pre-game coverage. As mentioned, day 7 wrapped up here, and coming up on today's show, we're going to hear from the head coach and president of football operations, Orlondo Steinauer, as he spoke after practice. We'll hear from QB1, Dane Evans. He made himself available. And I'll go one-on-one with the offensive coordinator of the Ticats, Tommy Condell. He's also an assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach. And Cameron Kelly, second-year linebacker. He's preparing for the season, how his offseason went, how the first couple of days here at camp are going. So that's all coming up on today's show. Couple of transactions to let you know, actually just one transaction to let you know about, and that's that the Ticats have signed second-round global draft pick Blake Hayes. He's a punter. He was originally selected by the Ticats in the second round, 10th overall in the global draft held earlier this month. He's 6'6", 225. Hard to miss out there on the field at 6'6", 225. A native of Melbourne, Australia, and played 57 games over 5 seasons at the University of Illinois. In a corresponding move, the team announced that national kicker and punter Dante Brown had been released. Well, Coach was asked about the new signee in Blake Hayes, and we'll hear what he has to say about that in just a second. But before, he was asked about Saturday's game and what he's looking for from his team, and here's what he had to say.
The markers, we just really want to evaluate, right? It's we kind of done what we can do amongst each other. It's time to play against somebody else. You can never really go full speed, right? We're always encouraging them to practice like pros, do what makes sense. And so they can't ever really turn it loose. So this is a chance for them to turn it loose and then see how we play as a team for 4 quarters. It's hard to simulate a game, so I'm most excited to play the game. Oh, shoot, he was out here. He was out early. That's a good thing. He was out early, and, I got a chance to meet with him and talk with him a little bit. He got in late last night and then obviously got medical. But, Drew and those guys did a great job in the background, so you feel like you know somebody better than you do, but first impressions are he can definitely kick the ball. Oh, the coaches will have some sore backs and things from standing, but I'll tell you what, I truly do. I really love this group, and we've got some fresh faces, some fresh energy, along with some coaches that understand our culture and our environment that we've created, but it's been fun. Well, Coach Butler and player Butler were both vocal. That's the way he played and approached the game, and he brings a little bit of fire to practice, and it's fun. It's fun watching him in his element, and, Casey's got plenty of energy also. So those two are doing a great job, and, along the lines of the coaches, they've been really good about allowing other coaches to help them out, which basically in turn helps us to do more during those periods.
That is the head coach and president of football operations, Orlondo Steinauer, as we caught up with him after practice, and a reminder that full scrums available at ticats.ca. All right, we had a chance to catch up with Dane Evans as well today. And Dane, of course, quarterback number 1, now 1 full week into training camp. And when we caught up with him, wanted to know what he has seen so far from his receivers. We've been asking other people what they've seen from Dane. Now time to flip the script and see what Dane thinks of his receivers so far at camp. And here's what he had to say.
Yeah, they've been grinding, man. we do have a lot of chemistry with the guys coming back. Braylon, I always call him quarterback 5 or quarterback 4. However many quarterbacks we have, he's the next one. So he sees the game just like we do. Tim and Steve are killing it. Poppy is doing his thing. Ternowski and Dave are just exactly what you would expect them to be. Just they're in the right spot every time. And then some of the new guys coming in, man, I'm really impressed by them. I think Emmanuel Butler is somebody has definitely caught my eye. He's very versatile. We have him in kind of a unique spot right now, and he's really excelling in it, I really like how he plays the game. Vic is playing really well, man. Keandre Smith is doing really good. He's gotten to run with the ones last couple of days just because, we rotate everybody. And I've been impressed with all our guys. Every single person in the receiver room has really impressed me. And a lot of the guys, the newer guys, are like new to the CFL in general too, so they've learned the waggle, trying to read defenses on the fly. So there's been a lot put on their plate, but they've been doing a great job. That's the biggest thing is the consistency. And now, like when we call a play, we go to the line or whatever, like the last person I talk to is the running back. So the fact that me and Don are on the same page with everything, me and T. Earls have been on the same page since I've been up here because he was my scout team running back in 2017. Last year when I was coming back off injury, Wes was my scout team running back. So I've gotten a lot of reps with a lot of the guys. And even Deshaun coming in, Deshaun Lee, he's really impressed me too. I mean, our scouting department does a fantastic job. They never bring someone in that can't play, right? Like every time they bring someone in, they can play ball, and it just keeps impressing me every time. Yeah, he's kind of like our spark plug, honestly, on offense. He's somebody. The other day there was a little scuffle, and of course who was right in the middle of it? Don. But that's the way you want it, right? That's the type of guy you want on your team. But he's also the first guy to tell the defense great play. He's the first guy to go give a lineman a big old hug when he springs him on a block. So he's kind of our spark plug. And I think, like you said, just the consistency and the everyday he brings it type thing is something we really cherish from him on offense.
That is the quarterback of your Hamilton Tiger Cats, Dane Evans, as he spoke after practice today, talking about his receivers, his running backs, and then specifically about Don Jackson there at the end. And if you've been down here, you've seen that Don Jackson is a little ball of energy. He's not that little, but he's definitely a ball of energy. The spark plug, as Dane called them there, and it's contagious. And I've had lots of conversations with him on the field in between scrums already, and a great guy and a great player for this team. But Hills has looked really good. Sean Thomas Erlington's looked good. Malik Irons has looked really good. So the Ticats are looking good on offense, and you heard it there from Dane himself. Speaking of the offense, it's coached and led by offensive coordinator and assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach. That's Tommy Condell, and I had a chance to catch up with him on the Ron Joyce turf after practice today, and we started off kind of with that, about how nice it was to be back on the field. Tommy's kids have been around so far, and Tommy reflecting on what it's been like to be back at training camp in a bit more normal times.
Oh, gosh. We preach every day a family atmosphere of the traits and the things that we try to build here. But also, because all the players, a lot of the players, a lot of the coaches are away from their families. And if we can give at least a moment of time to have one of our children, which, Luke comes in here, Jeremiah comes in from Mark's, it's just, they feel it, and they get a chance to see us interact with our sons, just like how we interact with them. So it's been very exciting.
It seems like it goes back to what O preaches, what you guys preach. It's not about being a great player. It's about being a great person off the field, too.
You got to be a great teammate. And in order to be a great teammate, it encompasses a couple of things, right? Trust, honesty, integrity, responsibility. And that's what we preach on a daily basis here, with a commitment to those great things that we do. And we'll see where it all falls. We're becoming a team first. We build the foundation before function, as you hear all the time, and that's what it is. That's the foundation.
What is your first impression of what you've seen this week?
The guys are really excited, number one, to get out here. They're excited about believe it or not, getting into the meetings, be able to take those meetings and apply them out here. And even the young guys are the first time that they're getting out here to actually see CFL football. And those guys are starting to come on up where it's not so totally foreign, Now those guys are growing. We got a lot of guys at different positions. They're learning everywhere. We're putting a lot of pressure on those new guys. Let it be from the offensive line and skill guys. They're moving all over the place, and that's going to really stress their ability to make sure they can retain it conceptually.
The one thing I've heard from players, from people I've talked to who have been watching this team this week, is the leadership of Dane and just what a step he's taken from last year to this year. What have you seen from him?
I think Dane, even in 2019, did that as well. So I think the leadership is just naturally innate with him. So there's not so much of a change or anything like that. I think it's more of an opportunity in regards to just the way the environment is, and the position that he has, also creates the decisions and the leadership things that he has to do.
In terms of the playbook, Dane has said that you guys were talking almost every week during the offseason, then he got here. So just how different is your playbook this year?
It's always about the players, right? So whoever's going to be playing, not only from the quarterback position, but the skill guys, offensive line-wise and running back-wise, and what we can do and what we need to be right now. It's ever evolving. You started the season, and you have to see where you go. That's why I'm so excited to see the preseason games that we didn't have last year.
And just speaking of the players here, you got a lot of returning pieces from last year. Obviously, some key pieces missing on the line and a couple of receivers. But when you look at it, you got a lot of returning pieces. What does that do for you?
The returners, but there's enough guys that have come in or that are new, so to speak. Every time that you bring those players in that are new, it builds a different dynamic, a different chemistry, if you will. But the players that have been here that are understanding, let it be from the concepts, let it be from a verbalization, how we coach, are able to take that step and teach. The Braylons, the Stephen Dunbars. Stephen Dunbar and Tim White and Poppy White, those are only second-year guys. It's not like they're heavy vets. But they're able to now take their position as a teacher, too, as well. And that creates a dynamic that we want and need.
That is the offensive coordinator of the Ticats, Tommy Condell. He's also the assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach of the Ticats. And before we go, I had a chance to get another one-on-one with second-year Sam linebacker Cam Kelly. And Cam has made a name for himself last season, an emphasis, an exclamation point in the Grey Cup with a pair of interceptions, and a lot of people saying he was on pace or was looking like the guy who would have been the Ticats MVP had they won the Grey Cup. Don't need to go down that road. As you know, we have a rule on this show that we talk as little about the 2022 or 2021 Grey Cup, as possible. The 2022 Grey Cup, we're psyched for here on this show. Saskatchewan, Regina, can't wait for that as the 109th Grey Cup goes. And nice time to remind you, the 110th Grey Cup, yeah, it's coming back to Hamilton 2023. Mark your calendars. Make sure you're there, because if you were at the 2021 version, you saw how amazing it was in COVID times. Imagine a year and a half from now where we could be. So very exciting that the Grey Cup's coming back. But again, I digress. Cam Kelly had a huge game in the 2021 Grey Cup, and we had a chance to catch up with him after practice today. And we started off just by asking how his first week at camp has been and just how different it's been from year one to year two. Here's what he had to say.
It's a little bit easier, just kind of understanding the game, knowing my landmarks in the field, and then having just a better understanding of the defense and just like what we're trying to do as a whole.
And knowing the landmarks of the field, that changes this year with the hash marks. What have you noticed in the week playing on this different field here?
At the end of the day, football is football, regardless where the hash marks are. But honestly, the boundary isn't really much of a boundary anymore. So that's kind of really about it. That's really the only thing I've noticed.
Are you do you anticipate the ball being thrown a little more to your side this year, or how do you?
I hope so. Yeah, I want them to throw the ball to me every play if possible. So honestly, I feel like we're gonna have a good year.
You and Jovan and Simone really had instant chemistry last year. You played all 18 games together. Where does that come from, and how do you build on that this year?
Just getting to know each other as people, off the field, and, just loving one another, and just constantly working, constantly communicating, asking questions, and, just having the mindset of just wanting to learn and grow every day.
And obviously with your spot on the football field, you do a lot of work with the secondary. There's a lot of experienced guys around this year in the secondary. What have you been trying to take out of them?
I just try to be a sponge, soak up as much information as possible. These guys have seen a lot, they've done a lot, so every question I ask, they always have a good productive answer that helps me. And, honestly, we all just want to make plays, so.
And you had such a big game in the Grey Cup, but it didn't go your way. How do you put a loss like that? How did you put a loss like that behind you in the offseason?
I mean, the sun came up the next morning, we got another season this year, and I feel like, we're back and everybody's just more hungry. We just want to work, and at the end of the day, we want to win, so we're just going to do whatever it takes to get to our end goal.
And that is second-year linebacker Cameron Kelly, as we caught up with him after practice, looking to build on a successful rookie season where he was all over the field and where he and Jovan Santos Knox and Simone Lawrence had some great chemistry. And again, just looking forward to building on a great year last year heading into this season, which a lot of these guys are trying to do. All right, that'll do it for us today. Thanks for checking us out on the Ticats Audio Network. We are back tomorrow getting you set for Saturday's game where the Ticats set to take on the Montreal Alouettes to open the preseason, which you can exclusively hear on the Ticats Audio Network. For all of us here at the Ticats Audio Network, I'm Louie B, hoping you have a great day.